Hello there, viewers. I'm the Knight of Arcane, and it's Mer-May time. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a themed art challenge for the month of May. Some follow prompts for each day, while others just draw a bunch of mermaids for the month. And for Mer-May, I asked my viewers to vote on what I should turn into mermaids this month. And Pokemon won the poll! Though there was a moment where it was tied evenly with Transformers, and that had the lead at one point also. I got some suggestions in the poll's comments, and chose some others, and drew them out as mermaids. And I really love how they came out. Anyways, let's check out the Pokemon mermaids, shall we? Deep in the oceans and seas, there thrives underwater civilizations, forced to evolve and change as they took to the seas. These are the merfolk. Long ago, they once were humans, but now live under the waves thanks to a combination of science and magic, both still prominent in their society. One such merfolk is the hot-headed but regal Ra-P, who lives in the city of Volcave, which rests along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Ra-P is a special mermaid whose bloodline and magic is still attuned to the element of fire, something that most aren't able to even produce underwater. Yet some, like Ra-P, are able to. Already part of the Volcave nobility, Ra-P is a part of the Order of the Deep Flames as a priestess, a spiritual and majestic order that's able to use fire under the seas, and uses it for a multitude of spells and other feats in order to grow close to the city's deity. However, Ra-P tends to hold her status as a priestess above others, even other priestesses and acolytes from lower classes, and believes she shall make it to higher and higher ranks in the order easily and quickly, just like many in her family before her. But just because she's a bit full of herself, doesn't mean her magical abilities are anything to scoff at, with her hair actually able to turn into flames when casting and performing her abilities. And if you get on her bad side, you're going to get burned. Rapidash is one of my mom's favorite Pokemon, and her birthday is coming up, so decided Rapidash would be a good fit. It was a bit hard to color the hair, but decided for this piece to keep it normal looking, with, in the lore, it can turn into flames. I made the end of her tail very big, like a few tropical fish have, and went with more oranges and yellows in the tail. With the skin tone, just chose one I thought would complement the other colors, and I think I accomplished that amazingly. Then just put her somewhere with some volcanic holes or something, which took a bit to color at points, but let's check out the Rapidash mermaid. There are some merfolk that live closer to the surface, showing a connection to the world they once were a part of many centuries ago. But there are also some unique ones that chose to live here, and have come from some odd places beforehand. One such mermaid is Par, who comes from a race of merfolk that used to live in deep lakes and rivers before migrating to the Mexican Gulf. Par is a curious and bubbly soul who loves to swim and play, along with exploring new areas, though they can sometimes get easily distracted and confused, leading them to get lost with their already poor sense of directions. But this doesn't keep the Mer Girl from her dream of seeing the entire ocean, and the amazing sights she knows it can offer, and the pretty things she hopes to find. Though, she might want to have someone to keep an eye on her, since the seas do still have plenty of dangers in them. Now, there's a funny story with Wooper. I had at one point thought of doing Wooper early on during the poll, when I was just generally thinking of who I could do for each choice on the poll. However, at that point, I had decided against it at the time. Then, Ken Monk suggested Wooper as an option, with it being their favorite. And with that, it was like fate said to me, do it, do it, do it. With the design, I put Wooper's chest marks on their top and going down their tail, and made the end of said tail like an axolotl. Since pretty sure Wooper is partially inspired by them, and saw some tail examples that I really liked, that I wanted to try out, and give it to him. She still has little horn spike things on the side of her head, and some small spikes along the side of her tail. While sticking with the blues and purple of Wooper's normal color scheme, chose to add some pink from their shiny form to them, mainly in a little bit of the tail and as their hair color. Overall, love how she looks, think she's adorable, and that the scene helps with that. And let's see the finished Wooper mermaid. Just a quick reminder, we have a Patreon up and running, which is a great way to help support the channel and all my projects. As a patron, you get access to weekly art polls, early access to original content, and monthly art rewards starting with character headshots. Plus, the more patrons we get, the closer we get to our Patreon video goals. So, if you'd like to support the channel and get some nice art, become a patron today by following the link in the description or on my channel. Every little bit helps. Anyways, let's get back to the mermaids. There are some merfolk to avoid at all costs. These merfolks dabble in dark magics and deals that has led them to be cast out of the kingdoms and cities, living out in the wild areas of the ocean deeps. And yet, many do not heed these warnings, and go to these cast outs for power, for wealth, and even help for those extremely desperate. One is the sea witch Magius, with a lair deep in a cursed cave that she has lived in for centuries. She will make a deal with those that seek her, and when they fail to pay her back, these merfolk will watch as their world crumbles down around them, before she appears and takes their soul. Many have been sent to slay the witch, and yet none have returned. Only those that make a deal with her have returned, but always with fear that they will not be able to pay her back. But be warned, for she can leave her cave, and bring chaos with her. Yet, she seems to be looking for something. Something in the deep, something in the dark, and have sent many merfolk down to try and collect it, as their payment to her. For centuries she's tried to get this item, and yet even she has no idea what will be found. All she needs, though, is someone to succeed. This was suggested by Galahound, and loved the suggestion. I did try to give her a hat like Miss Magius, but they never looked good to me, so kept her hatless. Gave her a big end to her tail, with some stripes and pink points like her spike things, which I then added some of those spikes on the back of the tail, her shoulders, her waist, on her head, and on her chest under her, The gems on her neck became a necklace and added some extra fins to be similar to her lower dress-like body, which I also allude to with her hair. And like with Looper, used bits of her shiny colors in the piece, with some of her fins, the head spike things, and her eyeshadow. Then I put her in a dark cave and overall love this creepy witch. So let's see how the Mismagius mermaid came out. Most merfolk have decided not to go to the surface anymore, saying they have no need to, since they're no longer connected to that part of the world. Though, some do, be it curiosity, the want to see it at least once because they can, or to gather food and other animals that still grow and live on and above the surface. But some also seek the surface to understand more the mysteries of their world, and what led to the merfolk's evolution. One such mermaid is Lapra, a noble mermaid that has always been interested in the history and unique beauty of the surface, and yet still wonders what might be out there above the waters, and fears there may still be something out there. Call it a hunch, a feeling that fills her with dread. So, she takes it as her duty to keep an eye on the surface and learn all she can, all while harnessing her ice magic and hoping what she's feeling is wrong. But still helps many when she can, like the curious Par, who has decided to join Lapra on her journey to figure out their world, while also teaching Par a little magic herself. But does have to keep an even closer eye on her distracted pupil, especially now since she knows magic. Lapras was one I really wanted to do, and knew she would make a great mermaid. I designed her with hair buns that represent the curved horn-like things Lapras has, and then also put her normal horn in the middle of her head too. Her body, it's a little bit more meaty, you could say, especially in the hip area, but Lapras is big, so it makes sense, with the tail also being pretty thick too. Their fins are still there as fins, and gave her a more classic tail design, just adding purple like the shiny Lapras in it. And I kept the shell as shoulder armor and her bra/top, and think she looks amazing. Put her on a rock above the sea to be unique. Just took a little bit of time with the waves around the rock, which are okay, though fix the waves a bit in post. But she's our last mermaid, so let's enjoy the Lapras mermaid. And there we have it, the Pokemon Mermaids. Like I said, it was a lot of fun to draw them. Would love to do more mermaids in the future. Let me know in the comments what you thought of them, along with other Pokemon I should draw as mermaids, or other characters I should also turn into mermaids. I have a lot of Pokemon videos on the channel already, so be sure to check them out, along with the other videos I've also done. Anyways, if you liked what you saw, please leave a like, and subscribe to join our little Arcane town to help support the channel and see more videos like this in the future. We're getting close to our 500 sub goal, so feel free to share the channel around, and we might reach it this month. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later.